Alrighty, we've got another game between Cool Umbrella on the Lizardmen versus DBD's Lenorm, or Sulfur Crested Cockatoo, on the High Elves with a very, very elite High Elf build. I've been seeing more of these versus Greenskins and Lizardmen, but like Swordmasters, Phoenix Guards, Sister of Aberlorn are kind of coming back. I wouldn't say into the meta, but they're not as like shocking anymore. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. They're cool still. It's not like, oh, I'm sick of seeing Sister of Aberlorn and Phoenix Guard, but it's also not like, holy shit, is that a Quaddle? You know. Anyway, good start. Good start to the video, Human Boy. You're doing great. Hey, thanks, me. I'm doing awesome. Red Crest Skink Chief. Really like this guy. I think he's one of Lizardman's best lords. Though Cool Umbrella likes him mounted, I usually like him on foot. He has Potion of Strength, which is interesting, and Opal Amulet. Horned Ones, definitely a very spicy pick. A bunch of Feral Cold Ones. In the trees, we have Cold One Riders, Feral Cold Ones, and Cold One Spear Riders, so a very heavy cab contingent for the Lizardmen. Front line of Skinks, Skink cohorts with Jav, Skink cohorts regular, then Red Crested Skinks. We do have a Beastcaster in the back with Curse of Honor here and Flock of Doom, and one Revivification Crystal for a little bit of healing on the Horned Ones or the Red Crested Skink Chief. The other side, Sisters of Aberlorn, 3 of them, plus the Towns of Torquelada, light armored archers, and a regrowth already on the Sisters of Aberlorn. Backline of Spearmen, front line of Silver and Guard, and we do have Teclis on a horse with Flock of Doom, regrowth, net, Sword of Teclis, and Bound Fiery Convocation. We have a front line also with a single Swordmaster of Hoeth, but the Skink cohorts of Javelins are absolutely slaughtering the High Elf backline. That is a lot of damage very quickly. Now, thankfully for the High Elves, these guys are already almost out of ammunition, but damn, they did work in the time that they had. The High Elf box is trying to hold on. A quick Bound Fiery Convocation is going to just delete some Skinks, but also a bit of friendly fire onto those Silver and Guard. Still overall a good cast. Horned Ones are netted down. It looks like 3 archers are all shooting at them, so this elite cav unit is also facing some punishment. And the great start for the Lizardmen is countered by a great second volley from the High Elves. Really taking down these Horned Ones, taking out a lot of Skinks, and the Swordmasters are just going to push through here. Now, the cav for Lizardmen is pushing into the box. Without any cavalry of their own, the High Elves are going to have a hard time dictating the pace of combat. It looks like a Curse of Honor here is going down from the Caster of Beasts. I mean, it's a good melee debuff, but there's not a whole lot to capitalize on. It's just one Skink cohort of Javelins. They don't even do that much damage in the best of times. Horned One's almost dead entirely. I wonder if they've already received healing from the Revive Crystal or not, but they are already pushed off. And Teclis is just trying to avoid that Red Crest Skink Chief for a bit, but even so, over half of the Lizardman cav has still not gotten engaged, and things are already looking real rocky for the High Elves. Swordmasters just try to finish off some Skinks and Feral Cold Ones, which they should be okay to do, but the archers being compromised in the backline is a big, big problem for the High Elves. Now, Sisters of Aberlorn have pretty decent stats. 50 melee defense, 38 melee attack when their martial prowess is active. Yeah, but that's about to wear off soon. Their hit points are dipping to the point that they'll soon lose that buff. Towns of Torquelada already pushed off. One of Sisters of Aberlorn already lost the buff. And man, they are just trying to shoot down that Revive Crystal while it's right in front of them. As more Velociraptors get involved, though, it's looking a bit scary. Now, can the Spearmen carry? Maybe. We'll have to find out. But their archer support is all but dead. I really can't see it being an effective tool in the rest of this game. One of the sisters is pushed off. The Horned Ones are back, and they do get a Revivification Crystal buff. Their healing cap's already within Zide 2, which is just a statement to how poor this has been going. Another regrowth onto Sisters of Aberlorn from Teclis. Really trying to keep them alive while he himself is in a bit of danger. He might want to save some of that healing to go his own way. Curse of Honor here lowering his melee defense down to 16. And this Red Crest King Chief is currently just beating his ass with a little bit of help from Cold One Riders. Sisters of Aberlorn have returned for a brief moment, but it looks like their stay will be cut quite short. Yeah. Yeah. Teclis on his little horsey horse trying to fight back, but there's a little Red Crested Skink bothering him, poking him, prodding him, and Spearmen get a huge Flock of Doom cast onto themselves, which, while it's not a super sexy, exciting spell, it does take very little Winds of Magic to even cast, so good cast there. Bound Fiery Convocation on the far side is going to hit some Red Crest Skinks. Meanwhile, Sister of Aberlorn, everybody is trying to just hit that Bastildon for a little bit more poke, really try to take it down, because the Revive Crystal cannot heal itself, which is a pretty important little context piece. Some sisters come back, but they are about to get completely run down by Horned Ones. And dead. Just dead. Dead, dead, dead. Shattered, even. They're no longer a threat. Lizardmen take a pretty commanding lead on the balance of power. Other sisters almost heal capped and still getting pushed down. And all is looking good for the Lizardmen. Red Crest Skink Chief fighting some Spearmen, not the greatest, but at least they're not Silver and Guard. And Cold One Spear Riders plus Horned Ones plus Feral Cold Ones, everyone going after Teclis here, just running him down. You can see a bunch of arrows following him as he runs. We'll have to see how that goes. Meanwhile, the front line is going pretty well for the High Elves. Silver and Guard have absolutely pasted a whole bunch of Lizardmen. They are not worried at all. And the Swordmasters are somewhere. They exist. With 42 models, if they got a regrowth from Teclis, they would be just fine and dandy. And that might actually be a decent concern here for the Lizardmen. They've shut down the archers and all that stuff fantastically, but they don't have a ton of bump and grind in their build. They don't have like Saurus or Temple Guard or a Mortis Engine of some kind or big spells to take out a lot of High Elf Spearmen. So they might have to spam Flock of Dooms and get effective cycle charging, but all might not be lost. The Staunch High Elf Spears might hold on. Sisters of Avalorn entirely just ignoring the skinks hitting them in the butt as they keep firing over onto this Bastildon. Really want to reduce the healing for the Lizardmen. And again, the Red Crest Skink Chief is on the trail of Teclis, but it's now stuck in some Silver and Guard. Those very, very elite spears will actually do a lot of damage to his little skink hide, and he needs to get out of there with all haste, but it looks like he's a bit stuck. Sick and tired of the Sisters of Avalorn persisting. Feral Cold Ones are also charging into the fight. More Feral Cold Ones, all just trying to stop these stupid High Elf archers from shooting their giant Bastillodon friend. Bounce power going a little bit back towards the middle. Horned Ones are coming back into the fight. But I'm getting concerned. Deeply concerned about how many High Elf Spears are left alive. Floggadoom cast hits 2 Silver and Guard, quite nice. But, as you can see, the Red Crest Skink Chief is still trapped in here, and he's taking a lot of damage. He's taken about 1,200 since we last saw him, so he needs to get out. And he is starting to path out, but it looks like he is just too stuck in for now. Horned Ones get netted down by Teclis, who Teclis himself also just starts attacking the Bastildon in melee, and these Sisters of Avalorn, persisting to the very last, will continue to shoot the Horned Ones. Bounce power shifts against the Lizardmen as their Lord gets sniped. Their Horned Ones get netted down and finished off, and the Bastildon even shatters. There's no more healing, there's no more staying power, and all of a sudden, there's just no more Lizardmen. Couple units of very badly damaged Spearmen and Silver and Guard, and Teclis, but it's enough. The Lizardmen will lose. It was looking super dire for the High Elves in the middle, but not enough infantry clearing power here. Horned Ones, especially with all the support they got, just underperforming. But to be fair, they got netted twice and shot by Sisters of Avalorn several volleys, so it was a lot of focus fire onto them. Cold Ones did okay. Red Crest Skinks struggled. Feral Cold Ones did fine. Skink Cohorts of Javs did excellently, and then Skink Cohorts did fine considering what you want of them. But Teclis, not a lot of value, but he wasn't on his Arcane Phoenix. He was running around on horseback. Sisters of Avalorn, wow, less value than I would have thought. I mean, one did great, but the other two, less value than I would have thought. Townsword Clada also got wrecked. Swordmasters and the Silver and Guard did excellently, and the basic Spearmen did fine. GG. Roar!
Subscribe, yes.